Welcome to the Launch to Impact Leadership Podcast. My name is Dr. Keena, a leadership development coach, author, and former nonprofit administrator. I teach emerging leaders how to master the skills needed to effectively engage their staff, strengthen teams, accelerate performance, and position themselves for long-term success. Welcome back. If you've been growing through these episodes, make sure you hit follow so you're always receiving strategies that will help strengthen your leadership and accelerate your success. Just like the rest of the world, the early childhood education landscape is changing, and it's changing fast. There are changing regulations, there are evolving workforce expectations, and shifting family needs that all mean one thing. What worked yesterday will not work tomorrow. And so the question for us is, are you evolving with the times, or are you getting left behind? I've seen far too many ECE leaders struggle with this, not because they aren't passionate, not because they don't have a love for the work that they do, but because they're stuck in their old ways of leading, in their old ways of conducting business. Meanwhile, the most successful programs, well, they are the ones that are adapting and innovating and staying ahead of the curve. You have to change with the times. And the future of ECE leadership belongs to those who are always ready to evolve. So how do you lead in a way that keeps your program thriving instead of struggling to keep up? Well, here are 3 ways to kind of future-proof your leadership. First off, start out with rethinking how you are recruiting and retaining staff. As generations change and ways of communication evolve, we need to remember that staff expectations are not what they were 5, even 10 years ago. And if you're using outdated hiring and retention strategies, you're losing great talent. So embrace flexibility wherever possible, invest in leadership development for your staff, and create a culture where employees feel heard and valued. So instead of saying, we can't find good staff and having all the complaints, ask yourself, what makes our program a place where great staff want to stay? In fact, ask your staff what makes the program a place where they want to stay. A center that I work with struggled with turnover until they really redesigned their onboarding and mentorship program. They gave new hires more support in their first 90 days. And you know what? The result was they had 50% lower turnover in 1 year. Let's put a pin in that for a second. I hope this conversation moves you forward in some way. And if it did, subscribe, share it, and then join me inside the Momentum Makers community. It's a space for emerging leaders just like you, and the link is waiting in the show notes. Let's hop back in. So after you do that, you want to make sure you're leveraging technology so that everyone is working smarter and not harder. Compliance, parent communication, and staff management are all very complex, but leaders who don't embrace technology-driven solutions are causing themselves to drown in paperwork while others are streamlining their operations. So make sure that you're using the digital tools that are available for you for scheduling, for compliance tracking, and for parent engagement. Automate everything that you can so that you can focus on the people and not just the paperwork. Look at some of the ECE-specific platforms that are available that can make compliance and communication easier instead of doing everything manually. Get rid of all the paper. One program that I work with switched from paper-based compliance tracking to digital logs and automated reminders, and they cut their admin work by 30 hours a month and reduced compliance errors to 0. After you're doing that, you want to make sure you're staying ahead of policy and industry trends. This matters because funding and licensing expectations are constantly shifting, and the best leaders don't wait for changes to impact them. They prepare ahead of time. So make sure you're staying in touch with your professional networks, you're attending conferences, and you're staying informed about the latest updates before they disrupt your program. Instead of saying, I didn't see that coming, ask yourself, who in my network is keeping me informed so that I can adapt to these things early? Make sure that you're dedicating time every month to reading industry updates, attending meetings, or staying connected with other ECE leaders to discuss any upcoming changes or even challenges. The leaders who stay ahead are the ones that truly succeed. ECE leadership isn't just about keeping up. It's about leading the way. Programs that innovate will thrive, and programs that resist change always struggle. But the choice is yours. Are you ready to lead with innovation? If so, visit www.drkeena.com to get leadership strategies that keep you ahead in our ever-changing field. The future of ECE leadership belongs to those who adapt, evolve, and innovate. So keep leading, keep growing, keep building momentum, and most importantly, stay ahead of the game. Thank you for listening to the Launch to Impact Leadership podcast. Before diving into your work, please take a second and leave a quick review. Your feedback not only supports the show, but it also helps other leaders discover these insights. My name is Dr. Keena, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building momentum.